Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning into the Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Paul Zeise in just a few seconds, so give us a call, 412-575-2600. Paul's sitting right next to me right now. We're going to be talking about the Pirates' big news today, which isn't really that big news, Paul. Andrew McCutchen, the Pirates picked up his option. It was a $14.5 million option. This is what we expected. I don't know why it took so long. I don't know why Neil Huntington was so hesitant to say that they were going to do this. It would make no sense them not picking up this option, but that's what the Pirates do, and now they officially picked up his option.
Well, it wasn't today for the first day they could do it?
Yeah, but, I mean, you could have said, but
yeah,
I'm saying
they
could
never
officially
do
do
that.
it. But you could say, I'm going to pick up his option. We're going to pick up his option.
Yeah, but that's not how they work. Neil Huntington does not say anything until the dots are, the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and they sign on the line. That's just how he does things. I mean, I remember a few years ago, there was a trade. It was some innocuous minor league trade swap or something, right, with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays had it up on their website. And we were talking, it just happened to be a Sunday when we were talking to Neil Huntington. One of the beat writers asked him about it, and he's like, well, that's not official yet. I mean, this and that and everything, rumors and this and that. And it was like, well, they already announced it.
Yeah, I know.
So that's just the way he is.
I understand that, but my whole issue with the thing is that, it's going to happen. It would have been the dumbest thing in the world not to pick up his option, right? And they would have got killed.
But again,
what reason would you have for not picking up his option?
What difference does it make for them to say it before?
I know. I just want to hear it.
Like
I think a lot of fans want
to me, I think really when you take a look at it, what difference does it make?
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming, and what? The World Series was going on, so
more than likely. But I would have liked to have known. That was one of the questions that was asked the first week, couple days after the season. Do you guys plan to? At least he could have been, forthcoming and said, yeah, that's something that we plan on doing. Sometimes I just don't like all the rhetoric and how they kind of.
Yeah, but I think
okay, I'm making too big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean,
but here
it doesn't matter. I mean, we knew they were going to do it. It's now. Are you going to actually bring him back, or are you going to trade him? And that's the news. That's what we care about.
What do you think?
Don't know. I think if they get the right deal, they'll trade him. If they don't, they won't. I mean, I think, there's really not a hard and fast plan right now what they're going to do. Because to me, if they decide they're going to keep him, it means they're probably going to have to offload somebody like Josh Harrison. They're not going to – I just can't imagine they're going to have two guys making $24 million, between them $25 million or whatever it is. I think someone like Josh Harrison or one of these arbitration guys whose number is going to go up, I could see them dumping one of those guys.
Don't they have to worry about attendance and what fans or how fans will perceive them unloading some of these guys? These are fan favorites right now, coming off a very disappointing year where fans are frustrating, leaving the stadium in thousands. Yeah, well, not renewing season tickets.
Yeah, but the bottom line always comes first to them, and their feeling is, for instance, like Josh Harrison. Say if Gung comes back.
Yeah.
They can always say, well, what's the little lefty that hit? Frazier. Frazier's going to play second base for it. Now, I think that would be ridiculous if you're going to have Adam Frazier as your full-time second baseman. Yeah. But, I mean, that's the kind of thing they do.
But if Gung comes back, you keep everyone else and the team's better, and then you add another pitcher. Yeah. I think that's what everyone wants to see. I know we won't see that, but I still think that.
But again, it really comes down to their payroll. I can't see them taking their payroll up to like $110 or $115 million. So it's going to be probably around $100 million again. And if it is, I don't know how you fit Josh Harrison and Andrew McCutchen in, especially since a number of these younger guys that were on pre-arbitration contracts, some of them are starting to come up to arbitration. So now their numbers are going to go up, reasonably well.
Cole's going to make more.
Mercer's going to make a lot more. I mean, there's guys that they're going to have to pay. And I just don't know that they're going to want to do that.
So you have a team just like Houston who won a World Series with a $120 million payroll that they started with. Now, they did make some additions to it.
That's the thing about them. Last year to start the season, they were $95 million payroll. To start the season last year. To finish this season, their payroll at the end of this season was $148 million. That's a jump of $53 million in a year. You know, in 2 years, whatever.
And they won a World Series, though.
That was
the point.
It's
it's proof that it can happen.
You know, the plan that the Pirates have, this pipe dream of we're going to draft well and develop well, and all of our young guys are going to come up together at the right time, at the same time, and we're going to be good, and we're going to prove you don't have to spend money. There's no evidence that you can do that. Once you get to a point where your young guys, you know, grow and, you know, they're right to the point where you're going to have a chance to win, Kansas City, Cleveland, and now Houston all proved, you got to go spend money and get players to get over the top. It's just the way you got to do it. And until the Pirates say or at least commit to doing something like that, I mean, does it really matter if Josh Harrison's here or not?
Yeah, you know, one of the things I want to touch on, and I want to hear what you guys have to say coming up. 412-575-2600 is the number. I think you need an owner that's a fan first and a businessman second. I think the owner has to be – this has to be a hobby almost, Paul. And I want to hear what you have to say about that coming up next.
But he's
it's
almost,
not a hobby for him.
And he's almost like not – I mean, I've heard and talked to people. He's like doesn't come to hardly any games.
No.
So how invested is he?
Yep, that's the big question. All right. Another big question is when we're coming back from break. And I'll tell you, it's 2 minutes from now. I'll see you then.